Fantastic. All right, sure.
All right, thanks everyone. So do I just click through here? Yes. So as I mentioned before, I'm the CTO of Creo, and we've already explained what Creo is when Robert was up here before. My background is I've been a developer since the late 80s. It makes me sound older than I am. I actually started when I was 15, and always in the call center space is where I started. So I've been watching this whole industry evolve, dramatically over the years, as many of you here have. And what I want to talk about today is how we're using AI to drive our development processes. And Charles touched upon some of this earlier today around how do you drive innovation quicker, but in a very programmatic way where you can codify your requirements as you go forward. And we're essentially doing things today that used to take months, literally in days, by the use of Agentic AI within our development processes. So the evolution has been, how many here have heard of vibe coding and know what vibe coding is? So a lot of you have. I don't actually like vibe coding myself. I knew that'd be controversial with Thomas. The issue with vibe coding is that AI today really reflects how we develop things today. So it reflects how the humans do it. And frankly, we're lazy. And many times we're coding things, we're putting them out there, but we're not doing everything needed to really create a product that scales, reliable, and has quality. And vibe coding is really a reflection of that. You're simply prompting an AI to say, develop this thing for me. And with vibe coding, it is the timer's not going, by the way. Is it okay? You'll tell me?
Yeah, I'll give you one too.
Okay, perfect. So what vibe coding does is essentially do what humans would do today and give you a working product, but that product is really not ready to go prime time and be put into production. So the next level that you do is you start giving it more context. Your business context, your product requirements, everything that you need up front, well-defined, to actually allow it to develop something that is close to what you actually need. You take that a step further, and you really want an orchestrated team, just like you do with the development team. You need certain experts that know certain things about your development environment, your application, your security, your compliance, everything else. And that's where we've really focused on what we're doing here to really drive codifying what our quality management strategy is and what our development requirements are to really drive a product that's scalable and maintainable and observable. So what we've done is we're working with various open source components, as you do today, and we've selected RuCode in our case, which is an agentic framework that allows you to identify multiple types of agents that are very extensible. So RuCode by itself has the ability to have an expert on React, for example, for a development framework, or on Redis, a security scanner, all these pieces as a group of agents that you can actually deploy. And what we've done is we've extended that to say things like you want an observability layer. You want to be able to have consistent logging, observability, tracing, everything else within your platform to actually drive a repeatable product that scales, is reliable, and easy to manage. If you do that just with vibe coding today, none of that happens. So with traditional development, and it looks like our text fell off here, so it didn't render quite right, so I'll go through it here, is that with traditional development, you might have test coverage that's very low, like 40%, and it's very difficult for new developers to come in and actually contribute to that without having very specific capabilities that allow you to drive the quality management within that. And within the traditional way as well, you have to really spend a lot of time training your developers by saying, hey, you got to do it in this way. You've got to use these tools. There's a lot of elements that go into that. In the new way, you effectively codify that into the tools for them. So they can get up to speed much quicker. They can actually interact with the agents themselves much more quickly, and among other developers within your ecosystem as well. So the key there is that you're taking this from a scenario where you have to spend a lot of time training your teams, getting people up to speed. It can actually take months to get a developer into your ecosystem, versus if you codify it within their tool sets, they can be up and running within days and really contributing to the environment very quickly. And what we're finding is in our environment, we're doing development between India, Nairobi, and other places that really allows us to scale those people very quickly, remotely, and drive value. Literally within a week, you can have a full developer up and running. And doing that, yeah, it's running now. So how this works is you define the goal. up front. It's not a simple prompt that says, hey, develop me this application. You go through and do a more traditional product requirements document that says, hey, I need this architecture, I need these capabilities, I need this quality within that. And then you use a tool like we're using. There's a lot of different tools out there to do this. We just happen to do root commander and root code. Is then it orchestrates all of that and says, hey, to develop this application, I'm actually going to do a assignment to all these different agentic agents in here and to my people, because you want a human in the loop when you're doing the development, and orchestrates all that for you and effectively creates a development team that really drives the collaboration between your developers and the actual code that's being developed as well. And then you deliver with confidence, because the key thing is I've run teams of up to 600 developers and product people distributed globally, and it keeps you up at night unless you have a very cohesive set of standards and capabilities in what you're doing. With this, you codify everything, and now you're in a scenario where every time you do a commit and you push it out, it's doing everything you're expecting it to do. You're removing the human shall we say, frailty out of the process and driving it within your systems. So we've actually open sourced this as well. You'll be seeing us pushed out there because we see this as just a starting point. We want the whole ecosystem to be able to take advantage of this to really accelerate the development of what we're doing, and be working with Thomas and the team on open sourcing other components within this as well, because if we can drive this adoption, it's really going to take off in what we can be developing applications on top of as well. Right? And then I'll be available for questions around later as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.